a six-pack of beers in my fridge, and I'm really thirsty. I got a big bag of crisps and a full box of Quality Street. I got some microwave pizza and some microwave fries. Got some microwave hot dogs that'll burst down the side. Got a big bar of chocolate and a big fat bag of weed. I got some money in my pocket in case I need to go and get me some more. I hear the postman knocking, but I can't be asked to answer the door. Because I answered yesterday, and the postman said to me, "Will you take this package? Because there's no one in next door, you see." And I said, "Yeah, I suppose I'll take it." Wankers. Some friends of mine are coming round to practice because we're starting a band. This is our first rehearsal, and I know Rome wasn't built in a day. Yeah. So take your instruments in hand. We're starting off in G. Just let the music flow. Yeah, who knows? We could make history. Here we go, boys. Are you ready? Let's rock! 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Wow, that was like different, wasn't it? Tell you what, let's never do that ever again. Ever. Let's finish off with a farting competition. Lose the skins up. Cheers for that, Eve. Anyway, good evening. Welcome to Raconteurs After Dark. And yes, I've had a couple of beers and I've had a couple of joints, and I'm just laying this out right at the very beginning. But I just wanted to give you something for your Wednesday night, because I know it's fucking boring, isn't it? Love Island started though, so you could be watching that instead. I don't actually know what it is, but my daughter's really into it, so. And all that I keep seeing on anything that's Facebook of hers is Love Island, which is why I don't go on social media very often, because it's obviously full of shit. Anyway, good evening. Hope you're okay. I just thought I'd just come on. I wanted to give you a bit of an update on what we've got coming up next week. So I've got a couple of shows. I've got a couple of guests lined up for next week, and I just wanted to give you a heads up on what's going to be happening next week. The dates are still up in the air. I'm trying to maneuver them both into different dates, but yeah, we've got a couple of guests coming up next week, so that's going to be probably Monday and Tuesday, or it's going to be Monday and Wednesday, or Tuesday and Wednesday, or it's going to be Monday and Wednesday, or Tuesday and summer day. But anyway, we're going to have 2 shows next week, so look out for that. It's going to be really, really interesting. A guy that I've known for quite a long time, and he's got he's a great friend of Mark Devlin, but he has more time than Mark Devlin to research, because Mark Devlin's more in demand and he goes to different places, and he has he goes to and Acapulco, and he gets invites to all these places. But this guy's got a lot of time to. He's not got as very much time, but he has got more time than Mark Devlin to research, and so we're going to be having Matt Conspiro on in next week. He's going to be talking about the 60s. And the Beatles and Paul McCartney, the Paul McCartney death situation. He's going to be talking about all the way that the 60s all transpired, and it was all led by intelligence. Well, the offspring of intelligence were the main players in the so-called Summer of Love. But that's what's going to be happening one of the days next week. And then I'm going to have Cassie Crowhurst on. I don't know if you've heard of her. I've seen her. I've not watched many of her videos, but I know she's working and she's trying to do things. And we're going to have her on one of the other days. So that's what's going to be happening next week. So Cassie Crowe is going to be on. I did see her today on Dave Lawrence's live feed. Dave Lawrence did a live feed, and Cassie was on there, and that's where I invited her on the show. So she's going to be coming on next week as well. Well, that's the plans anyway. I mean, things can change. People might go, "Oh, no, you're a con," but you know, that's not going to happen. Especially, it's not going to happen anyway because I'm not. So that's what's going to be happening next week. I just wanted to let you know about that. I want to let you know about next week, and I just let's have a look, see who is joined us tonight. We've got 27 watching. People are saying the stream is fucked. Everyone demonetized. Yeah, I wanted to talk about that as well. Yeah, everyone demonetized. I got a message today from YouTube on my other account, my Alter Edge Media account, the one that I'm in the chat room with, and it said that an interview that I'd done with a video that had been removed, and it was an interview that myself and Andy had done with Ole Damagard. So that was interesting. They're now starting to remove videos, and I'm just hoping that this is not going to, go. We're going to have to find somewhere else, aren't we? That's the thing. We're going to have to find somewhere else, and we need to. I don't know. There needs to be some sort of. There needs to be some sort of collective and sort of together. Even if you don't agree with people, you need to have this. We all need each other, because if one of us is fucking gone, we're all gone. It doesn't matter what your subject is, what you want to do, what you want to say is. The freedom to say that has got to remain, and we've got to fight for that, and we've got to be able to. We've got to support each other, which is why I told you the other day, go and see Webby's show, because I know me and Webby, we've had his differences, and this show, I don't think it worked with me and Webby, and that's probably one of the reasons why it went down. But we can. I still support Webby. I wanted to listen to Webby's show, his first show the other night. After I'd finished here, I went on to see Webby's show, to listen to Webby's show, and I know that Max didn't turn up. And I did think at the time, when I saw that he was having Max Egan on at 8 o'clock, I thought, well, that's 5 o'clock in the morning where Max is, because we started at 9, because that would be 6 o'clock, and he would be able to be up for that. So I did think there might be a bit of a time difference, but Max didn't get on, but he had a couple of good guys on. Mark Salon were on, and Kevin Mark, who's over there in Nottingham as well. They're all into this, the same sort of information that Webby's into, and it was a really good show as well. And I think there was a lot of comments that said that they were glad that Max didn't turn up, because they preferred to hear the chat that was UK based, and that people might be might get more information from and might get more out of than just than simply a generic chat with Max Egan. So well done, Webby. Anyway, on your first show, I listened to the second hour, and I was impressed. And you know, I wish you all the best. And that's what look. I want everybody to have a good crack, have a go. I don't want anybody's opinion. This is what Dave was saying earlier on. I listened to Dave Lawrence on. He had a bit of he did a YouTube, not a YouTube, a Facebook Live video, and they were talking about how there was a lot of conflict that were going on within the truth movement, or whatever you want to call it, truth movement. But there were a lot of conflict going on, and how people should be able to all get on. And we know that people should be able to all get on, but in reality, we know that people can't get on. So from my point of view, and this is something that I've tried to do on this show, is that I try to have conflict management. So I'll have one side of the argument on 1 week, and then the other side of the argument on the next week. And believe me, I've lost people have unsubscribed and said, you know, we're not having this, and just simply because I've had somebody who's got the opposite point of view. Now, for me, the only way that we're going to grow as a society is if we all are able to tolerate each other and each other's different opinions. Now, this gets me onto this, and I don't know if you've seen this. You must have seen it. I want to just say hello to people in chat room. Let me just say hello to people in chat room. Ron Malcolm's in there. Dot's there as well. Dean Yates, good evening to you. Sax Akimbo. Well, that's good. Yeah, stop voting and funding the enemy. That's correct. That's exactly what you're doing. By voting, you're funding the enemy. You're giving them the deposit back, you know. And also, you know, imagine if there were a constituency where everyone, I think it's a £5,000 deposit now. I think that's what it is for. It used to be 500 quid, didn't it? A deposit that you had to put down if you were going to stand for Parliament. And I know it. I think. What's his face? Yaxley, Lennon. He lost £5,000, but he was standing for the European Parliament. So that's probably what that is. It's probably a European Parliament thing that it was £5,000. But you know, you're wasting your time. What if nobody turned up and they all lost the deposit? You know, or would they all regain the deposit? It's just stacked against us. It's completely stacked against us. And as Dave was saying, we've got arguments between us. We've got people arguing between us, and we're all arguing between us, and we're all saying, no, this is your ideas of this are wrong because of this, and no, my ideas. And then people get married to their ideas, and then anybody else's ideas. And I've seen this with the highest the educated people, the people that you would imagine it wouldn't happen to. I've seen this. They get married to an idea. They can't see any other idea. And eventually that idea decreases, and people then realize that it wasn't that. And then they disappear because, you know, their involvement. I mean, not everyone's Ian Crane. You can't just, you know, chuck all in on all sorts of different things that fail and then still carry on with 5G and fracking and all this sort of stuff. You know, everyone's like that. So, you know, you get people that are highly educated, that know all about these things, but they get married to a certain objective, a certain, there needs to be, they start off with an ending, and then they work back, and then they make that ending fit into what they can find backward. They reverse engineer, essentially. I mean, and that's cheating, really. We all know that's cheating. If you've got an alien craft and you reverse engineered it, and you know, and you were able to reproduce that, you're cheating, really, aren't you? I've seen people get married to things that just aren't. When it comes down to it, they aren't. they aren't logical, and they aren't real. And then they lose their reputation and they disappear. I mean, I could name tons. I won't, but because I can't think of them, and I've got a really, really bad imagination. But yeah. Anyway, what's going on? Donald Trump is in town. Let me have a look. Just having a look in the chat room. Good evening to everybody who's in there, who's listening to me tonight. I know it's late and it's a Wednesday night and it's irregular, but what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and do at least one. Well, I am going to do either a Monday or a Tuesday, 7 o'clock, a 2-hour interview, and perhaps a Monday or a Tuesday at least. So it'll either be a Monday or a Tuesday, or a Monday and a Tuesday, or both. So it'll either be a Monday or a Tuesday. It'll be a 7 o'clock show with 2 hours and a guest and stuff. So, but after that, your guess is as good as mine. You know, with this, people think, well, you know, if you want to keep your listeners, you want look. If you want to listen to me, you'll fucking find me. Anyway, what I wanted to talk about is Trump. Trump's here. Oh God, did you see that bird? Did you see that bird on that thing? I've got it up here. Let me just have a read of this. This is that. I don't know if you saw it, but it were this woman. There was this Trump supporter, and this guy's a bit middle aged. He's a sort of middle aged guy, and he's a Trump supporter, and he gets stuck in this bunch of, you know, these fucking Soros funded fucking dickheads that have got 0 brain cells and fucking 0 sexual parts as well. I've got as many brain cells as I've got sexual parts. How many sexual parts have you got? I've got 0. Do not fucking tell me I have sexual parts. I do not have any because I choose to not have any. So you've got no fucking brain cells either. And that's what they're fucking like. And so this guy, and what they've done is they've done the old fucking chucking a milkshake over him, right? Fucking chucking a milkshake over him. It's like you're coming over him. You're going, Trump supporters, and you're coming over him. It's fucking ridiculous. These fucking people are so fucking stupid and they don't understand that they've been set up to do all this shit, and then they think that they're going to get like 5 minutes of fucking fame on Antifa Facebook page, or on fucking Hate Not Hope, or Hate Not Hope. That, I think, see, a Freudian slip, but that's exactly what it is Hate Not Hope, because that's all they do is hate, and it's fucking ridiculous. So we've got this fucking bird. Ray, I'm gonna screen share. Let me just screen share. I hope you don't mind. Do you mind if I screen share? If anybody minds if I screen share, can you tell me now? Okay, there we go. All right. So nobody really has made any screen share. There we go. Screen share. Your entire screen application window. There we go. This one, that's the one. Share. So we've got this here. This bird. I say that in the loosest fucking possible sense. It looks like a fucking pig. So it's stand up to racism. Election now. See, I'll go for that. I don't think they really mean that. And then we've got like this Jeremy Corbyn type looking bloke here in the middle. It's probably and a gingerbird. And you can't call me gingerist. You see, I can fucking take piss out of disabled people because I'm disabled, and I can take piss out of gingerists because I'm married to a ginger. So, you know, so here we go. We've got this bird, right? So she's screaming in this guy's face just before he gets, somebody comes on him. Somebody comes on top of him. Someone goes, oh, she's probably screaming, saying, where's my fucking milkshake and my fucking Big Mac? Right? But then somebody fucking comes on, and then she knows where the milkshake is, so she's then happy, right? So then we've got this NHS worker He's apologised for screaming Nazi scum at Donald Trump supporter moments before he was doused in a milkshake at a protest in central London. The woman, who has since been identified as Siobhan Frigon, I'll just give that because that's probably what she fucking calls her, although it's fucking prigent, which is like, I don't know, probably some sort of Latin for fucking pig, was filmed chanting Nazi scum at a Trump supporter and laughing after he had a milkshake thrown in his face, at his face. She has, this is the best, and this just fucking sums up what they're saying. She has since said she let herself down at the protest, which brought London to a standstill as tens of thousands of people protested against Mr. Trump's state visit. In a now deleted tweet, she wrote, "I am very sorry for my behaviour today. I should have protested peacefully and I didn't. I regret that. I let myself down and I do understand fully. There are two sides to every story, but my actions were my own." So there you go. What she's trying to do is she's trying to fucking pin this. She's trying to say there's two sides to this story. I mean, what's this guy doing? He's surrounded by all these fucking morons. Look at him, fucking idiots, all fucking like with the placards and that, and this is the other thing as well. You get all these fucking people were protesting in Portsmouth today, right? All these people were protesting in Portsmouth, and all these people will be people that want to remain in the EU. So they're in Portsmouth protesting Trump because he's going to a fucking a D-Day commemoration, which got us away from Europe. Right, so we weren't sucked into a German-led Europe and now they want us all fucking back in, and they're in fucking. They're just, these people are just ridiculous. You just cannot talk to them. There's just no way they will listen to you. And you know, look, just let's have a look. She works with the NHS. With a special interest in mental health awareness. For fuck's sake, self-awareness 0, mental health awareness 1,000,000, because she's a fucking lunatic, fucking shouting at a bloke. I mean, this guy, look at this guy, he's having to be surrounded by coppers here, look. Coppers all surrounding this guy to get away from these these peaceful protesters, these fuckers that are... that don't want hate. They are protesting against hate, yet they're fucking having a go. And then there was the one where there was an old guy and a woman and a Trump supporters, and the old guy was pushed to the floor. This were a pensioner, for God's sake. And look at this. This is all they can do. They dress up it. They put these things up. I saw a video where somebody stabbed one of them with a pair of scissors, and it deflated and everything. But look at this. This is all they can do. They can't do anything. They can just stand up and go, "Oh, look at us. Oh, yeah. Look at us. Oh, look how inventive we are and everything, because we're middle class and we've been fucking dragged into this by Soros." You know, your local fucking jam making club's been given another £500 donation. So, but if you all go down to fucking London to protest Trump, this is what happens. This is exactly what fucking happens. This is why it's all over everywhere. But there's no, and anybody that stands up to these people, him, everybody involved with him, these people are the enemy. It's the media. The media are the enemy. If we take the media away, the rest of them will fucking just crumble and run away and go into exile and fuck off and everything. We need to break the fucking media. And when I say break the media, we need to put pressure on them. We need to be everywhere that they are. We need to go to every single place that we can that they are, and we need to put pressure on them, because the media are the ones that are fucking allowing this to happen. They are fucking allowing this to happen. In fact, why do you think they get paid so much? For God's sake. For God's sake, because they care. Well, I don't get paid out, and do you know why I don't get paid out, and why I do it? It's because I fucking care. I actually fucking care. I don't give a fuck about who's right and who's fucking wrong. I care about the truth. I don't want to be into arguments about fucking shit. And this is what Dave was saying. I want the truth. And if that means I've got to see both sides, and that means I've got to alienate half of them and half of them, then I'll fucking do that, because that's what I do. I'm not here to be fucking cuckolded into an opinion about anything. All I want to do is anyway. I've thought about it, and I've got a solution. Okay, I've got a solution. I thought about this earlier on. So we've got this. Let me just put it back on screen again. I'll just share screen again. Sorry, I'd get carried away, because I'm a cunt. No, it's not that one. It's not. Oh, let me find it again. That one. Right. Okay, so this is my solution to this. So we've got this woman, and do you know, when I came to this solution, I thought to myself, we still don't win. The normal people still don't win. But I thought, what about a solution? Well, a solution could be, right, so we've got this fucking pig here, and then we've got this guy here. I don't know who he is, and he might be a wanker anyway. I don't know. He could be a fucking complete and utter wanker, but he's surrounded by all these cunts, so I'm on his side every fucking time, every day of fucking week. So why not? Why don't we get these two, and they go on an episode of Countdown. Now, on Countdown, what they're going to do is they go on to Countdown, and it goes, right, okay, right, now, okay, here we go, it's Countdown, it's you fat cunt and you old geezer, can you, we're going to give you 30 seconds, and you've got to think of the biggest insult for each other. And so it goes. You can't see me. I do it finger though. It's like that clock. Okay, we go over to you, fat cunt. What have you got? I've got 8. Oh, and what's your 8? Nazi scum. Okay, Nazi scum. What have you got? I've got 7. And what is it? Fat cunt. And I fucking win every fucking time, because there's fucking millions of your cunts and there's fuck all of me. Well, according to this picture anyway. But it's a solution, isn't it? It's a solution, and that's what we need. We need solutions. We need this whole situation to be resolved without conflict. But what always fucking does my head in is I don't see any other fucking way. I don't see any other way. We can take media out by all fucking means, but I don't see any other way. Like Mussolini said, blood is the sole mover of the wheels of history. So what do we do? Where do we go? What do we say? Do we say, look, it's just fucking ridiculous, and turn ourselves off from it? Do we say, I can't fucking be arsed with it, or what do we do? I don't know. I mean, I can't fucking. All I can do is I can just tell people what I think, and I think conflict resolution. But what you've got to remember is people will say, "Can you hear my dog snoring?" Oh, stop now. But where we talk about how people that are on let's just say this side of the wall, they're on this side of the wall and they're campaigning for all different things: 5G, child abuse, social services, 9/11, 7/7. I mean, there's so many, and so many people have an expertise in a different place, and then when somebody comes along from a place that's not either 5G or not, let's just say two guys meet up who've got who are on this side of the wall, and the 5G guy and the 9/11 guy talk to each other, and they can't really understand each other because the 5G guy don't really know much about 9/11. He might not have even been very fucking old. He might not have even been born when 9/11 happened. And the 9/11 guy don't really know much about 5G because he's essentially going to be an older sort of guy like myself. You know, I'm 49 and that's my forte is 9/11. That was the thing that woke me up was 9/11. It was, that was my thing. And for me now, because I've been, since I first started, and I've been going along and I've studied all sorts of different events, and not studied and gone into massive detail, but I have kept an eye on all sorts of different events leading from 9/11 right up to Sandy Hook, you know, right as far as you can see, you know, all these bombings in France and stuff. But it seems like the more and more we get fractured, and the more, and don't forget this, right? We think that the opposition are like the politicians and everything, and we think to ourselves, well, they're all getting fractured. They're all getting fractured up as well. So, you know, it's natural for us to not, you know, come together and you not unite, but like at least support each other, even if we've got differences on things, because the real enemies are on the other side of the wall, and they're all fractured up, but they're all taking their orders from one fucking geezer or a bunch of geezers, or I don't know, whatever AD says, about 72 families or something. But, you know, that's what we're doing. We're all, the divisions between us are all real. They're all real divisions. But between them, they're not real divisions. They're all, you know, they might talk to each other in Parliament and shout at each other and do all this and do all that, but they're not real divisions. They're still going and sitting at same banquets and everything. They're doing all the same things because the same people are pulling the strings. But in our case, we are fractured. We are split into different areas of expertise and different areas of opinion. You've got, and things come in and they dilute, and then you'll get people saying, oh, well, that's just that's a psyop. If it's a psyop, just leave it alone. You don't have to say it's psyop. Let somebody else decide for themselves. You know, why do we think that we're you know, we need to warn people about things? You know, why do we feel the need that we need to warn people about it? That guy, he's talking shit. Like I had Shane Gibbs on a couple of times, right? And I think you all know reasons I had Shane Gibbs on. I didn't think he got a fair crack up with it first time, so I had him on again. I don't agree with everything that Shane Gibbs says. I thought you were a nice fella, you were a good fella, a decent fella to talk to, and that we can leave it at that. And that's it. You know, we'll talk again and we'll chat again about different things, but people seem to be unable to do that. They seem to be unable to separate and say, look, all right, fair enough. What's the end game of this? What's the end goal of this? So you're a 9/11. You're into 9/11, and you're into flat Earth, and you're into I don't know, 5G, and you're into what's another one? Child abduction, you know, child sexual abuse. Then there's somebody who's into child paedophile rings in Parliament, and then there's and I'm not dispelling any of these as being insignificant. I'm just saying that there are so many different places where we can oppose each other, and there's so many places where we can disagree, so many places where relationships can break down. Now, on their side, if you think about it, on their side of the wall, right, although they're giving the impression that they're disagreeing on everything, the people who are in charge of everything are pulling all their strings. And so what they're giving the impression, and we're thinking that it's okay, you know, well, they fall out, so, you know, who's falling out, that's okay. But it just seems that it's a great waste of time. And I did understand. I was listening to Dave earlier on his cast, and I think he put a lot more eloquently than I do. But yeah, I don't think we should come together. My philosophy is managing conflict, because we're never going to come together. We're never going to get all together and say, right, we're all happy and everything. My idea is to manage conflict. And so this is why I have people of different points of view on this show. And the reason why I've got a lot of flack for it, and, you know, I don't care. I've got, like I've said before, I've got skin thicker than Lee Garrett. So they can give me the flack, all the flack they want. But conflict resolution, because that's just bollocks. It's never going to fucking happen. Never does in any situation whatsoever. It's conflict management. People need to manage the conflict so that people need to be able to train themselves so that they can hear something else without reacting emotionally to it, and then having and then going on the offensive against it. Rather than that, step away, or just step forward and say, I think this is probably. But again, that doesn't always happen. I mean, I had on one of the comments that came in after the Anne-Marie Carey thing kicked off. Anne-Marie Carey put onto one of the comments that, I think it was on Facebook or something, that she'd Sean Maguire on People's Internet Radio would, he's a great host and he'll listen to it and everything, and that's fine, But in my experience, Sean is exactly the same. Has got exactly the same temper and short fuse as Anne, and it will only end in tears. And right, I'll tell you what my dealings with Sean Maguire back in 2013. Myself and Adi, right when we first started doing this, we started doing meetup talks. We'd have somebody coming along and speaking, and we'd do talks, and we called it Friends UK Column. And it started off with 3 of us, and it ended up with like 30 of us, and we're in this casino and got a big screen and everything, and we had people doing talks and all this sort of stuff. Anyway, this guy came along, and he was called John Bravo. He called himself John Bravo, and he became a bit of an infiltrator. But he brought into the conversation Sean Maguire. Now, so he introduced me and Sean Maguire, and me and Sean Maguire. Sean Maguire, we were friends on Facebook. And then this was back in the days when, when Facebook used to, you'd be able to see other people's posts. So Sean Maguire put this thing up, and he said, bear in mind, I've had not really, the only contact I'd really had with him was with this John Bravo bloke. And so he put, what we need to do is, he put this, this grand statement on Facebook on his status, because he's grand and he's on People's Internet Radio and what have you. And by the way, we started there and left because we couldn't get enough listeners. Anyway, in fact, I really don't know why we left, because that were down to Andy. But anyway, yeah, so he put this status up on Facebook, and he said, we need to form a big independent media organisation. And this was before Ike, I think it was before Ike started doing his that rip-off that he did. Oh, shit, I shouldn't say that. Should have invited me on show. That People's Voice. it was before I did that, and he said, well, what we need to do is we need to put this, we need to get this huge media, we need to all pool as resources and get this huge media organization together, and then we'll be able to smash them. And so I wrote underneath in a comment, and I think I've got it somewhere. I think I've got it screenshotted, and it might be on one of our drives because it is such a long time ago. It must be 2013 or something like that. But I put underneath, I wrote underneath, well, I don't agree. I think that small independent networks all, coming together and sharing information and, and sharing each other's links and things like that, that's fine. But then at least if there's a bad apple, it's confined to one individual cell, and that cell it'll disappear. Oh, and he come back at me. Oh, you're one of them negative fuckers. Oh, I don't want fuck all to do with fucking you. In that, that I don't. He's got I think he's got quite an effeminate Irish voice. He's a poet, innit? I don't want anything to do with you. Anyway, I can't do an accent. But and anyway, it was written down, so it didn't really have an accent. But he really went off and then fucking blocked me. That were it. That's all. That's my only dealings with Sean Maguire or Timmy Murphy or whatever his name is. So he's great. You should you both fly off at deep end pretty quick, and just go on the attack on people, and you'll be great on there. I'm sure it'll be a great show. And listen, I've got no ill will against Anne-Marie Carey. I just didn't like the way, and I've said this a billion times before, and I've been told on the comments that, and now I'm a misogynist, and I'm a woman hater, and I'm this, and I'm that, and I'm other. No, I didn't like the way that the interview went. I didn't like the fact that I felt like he were being ambushed, and so God knows what he felt like. And then, so I ended that brief relationship, and I wanted to move on. That's all. There were nothing malicious in it. I could have handled it better, probably. But then again, that's just human nature. I'm a human like everybody else, and so I probably didn't handle it very well. But that's just what happens, and it's just life. Oh, let's have a look what's going on in the chat room. Anybody on there? Son of Ike Wilson, good evening. Is there not a man amongst us who will judge the unholy that judge the innocent? Yes. Bergturtler. Oh my God. Oh my fucking God. They demonetized Jesse Lee Peterson. Who's that? Can somebody tell me who Jesse Lee Peterson is? I'd love to know. What if they wanted 9/11 to wake 1% up and their goal was to get us all congregated? What if the Woodstock was a drill? Now, that's an interesting, Sax Akimbo. That's an interesting point that you're making there. And we'll get into that when Matt Conspiro was going to be talking to us about the 60s and music and the way that it was used to manipulate people. And I think Mark Devlin posted an article up the other day about how Woodstock was, or that era was a trial run to get people conditioned to how that's to being that's how you protest things and you do things. Anyway, we'll get into it. We'll have Matt Conspiro on anyway, and sometime next week, and he'll be able to explain that to you a lot better than I will be able to, I suppose. And of course, he won't be blithering and blathering, and he will have a comprehension of the English language that I haven't got. He will be able to say things like, on the pickles. See? So I can't do that, as you've just seen. Yes, like the 60s protest taught us what to do when we are peed off with government. Yeah, that's great. That's I saw something about that. Nice one, Saxa Kimbo. So anybody have a look into that. It's somewhere. It's somewhere on the internet. It's out there somewhere. Out there now. Then. That would have been dodgy, wasn't it? That impression. Perhaps I shouldn't. Perhaps I shouldn't do that. Ah, fuck it. Fucking hell. They're going after the Christians, says Ron Malcolm. Well, they'll not get me because I'm not one. I'm just a dude. Son of Ike Wilson, teach me. Teach me. Oh, here we go. Yeah, so anyways, there's a few people in chat room. I don't know if there's else that I want to talk about. I'm sure there is. I'm sure when I get off, I'll go, I want to say that, and I want to say that, and I want to say that, and I got that joke, and I got this joke, and I got the other joke to say, but I never write them down. I just sit there on my chair and just vegetate all day, and then suddenly it tells me I've got to come on here. So that's what I do. I just come on and I just talk nonsense. But it won't be nonsense next week. Matt Sergio, and we're going to have Cassie Crowhurst as well. Look, I just like chimed up, didn't I? I just went all professional. I just went all professional, dear listener. That wasn't an impression, by the way. That was just me showing you my shirt. See that? Let's have a look. I wonder how much a genuine Jim will fix it badge is worth. Let's have a look. I'm going to have a look now. eBay Jim will fix it badge. eBay Jim will fix it badge. Here we go. 96 quid. Although that ended in August 2012, so that would probably be before. It says, I'm gonna have to screenshot this bit because it's ridiculous. I just thought to myself, so probably a lot more now. But just have a look at that. There you go, and look at this bit here. And I thought that said genuine rape. That's how my mind works. But it sold on the 19th of August 2012. I think it was October 2012, weren't it, when all the shit came out about him, and everyone discovered that he was a huge fucking paedophile, kiddie fiddler type geezer. So there you go, 96 quid back in 2012. So the appreciation on that would be, I mean, who would buy that? Would anybody buy that? Would you have a Jim will fix it badge? No? Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think I've run out of stuff to say. It's not easy when you don't do it when you're on your own, and there's nobody there to to give you an elbow and say, talk about this. And I know there's tons more stuff. I know there is. I wish I'd written it down. It's like when I see local news. Okay. Search up Jesse Lee Peterson on YouTube. He won't claim you. I don't know what that means. Claim me? Is he going to claim me as one of his minions? Usually, though, it's like the news, the local news, the fucking local news that we get on here in Yorkshire. And today it's been something like fucking. First of all, I'm talking about them two kids that are. Oh no, that weren't this week. What were they talking about today? We're talking about some really fucking deep fucking bad shit about. Oh, they were talking about some cunt fell off Himalayas who's from our area. He's fell off. He's gone up to Himalayas and he's fell off. And there's like they found 5 bodies in that, and that's this is like a fucking really serious. This has got a guy who's a lecturer at university, and he's gone on holiday with his mates and everything, and they've gone climbing in a place, and then they've all fucking fell off mountain and what have you. And like these in India, these Indian army have spotted 5 bodies. And I think there were 8 in the party, so like he's got like a 3 to 5 chance of still being alive. But like it's a pretty serious fucking story, I mean. It's a really, really serious story, and then they'll go on to a primary school's fucking daffodils have been kicked off by some fucking lunatics. Just like there's just no in between. So we've got dead local climbers. We've got dead local climbers, right? So somebody's in fucking newsroom, and again, what we got for today? Today's Look North. I'll tell you what we've got. We've got a fucking real story in India. Oh, what's going off? Oh, well, there's these fucking climbers, and some of them are from around here. And there's 8 of them gone on this thing, and then they've all gone missing. And now Indian Air Force have found five bodies. Well, spotted 5 bodies. So I don't think they've been recovered or out. Okay, yep, that's good. That's a good lead. That's a good lead. Good, strong lead. We're going to be going good. Well, right, okay. What else we got? Fucking daffodils' heads have been kicked off at local fucking primary school, and they only planted them fucking March. They only shoved fucking bulbs in March, and now some cunts have been round and kicked fucking heads off at daffodils. They all just sprouted out. Fucking hell. Well, what do we go with? Do we go with fucking dead climbers, or do we go with daffodils? Fucking ridiculous. Local news. Local fucking news. It's just... It's stupid. Fucking stupid. Yeah, I will have a look at that guy, Lee Peterson, Jesse Lee Peterson. I'll play one of his if he's any good, I'll play his stuff on my show. It's not a problem at all. It costs does it cost $5,000 a license to climb fucking out in Himalayas? Fuck's sake, $5,000, and then you D. I mean, imagine that. You're fucking dead. You've paid $5,000 and you're dead. But oh dear me. Oh, fucking Brexit and all. We've got Brexit and all, haven't we? That's per person, yeah. So that's 8 people. That's, what is it, 40 grand? 40 grand, and fucking most of them are dead. So they're not going to want the deposit. They probably made them put a deposit down, for their mucks and snowshoes and that. That's probably what they did. They probably made them put a deposit down, so they don't get that back either. It's just a fucking rip-off, isn't it? These fucking mountain climbing things. Jesus Christ. Well, what's to fucking climb a mountain anyway? For fuck's sake. Oh, why did you climb it? Because it was there. Yeah, I know. It's like asking a fucking rapist why he fucked a bird, why he raped somebody. Oh, because you were there. Well, it's not quite same, but you know what I mean. It's fucking, it's just I don't know. All right, people enjoy that. I understand that. I completely understand. People enjoy different things. I enjoy quite different things to other people. I enjoy... don't know, just what everyone else does, I think. I enjoy sitting here and talking to you a lot. It's not bad therapy, actually. It's not bad therapy at all. As you're all going on, because I've noticed there's a lot of people like getting really fucking wound up about stuff, that like you've got no control over. They'll get wound up because and I've noticed that it happens, when you're fucking scrolling through Facebook. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll do a live scroll through Facebook on my phone if I've got a phone. Have I got a phone? Oh, yes, I've got a phone. Let's have a look at what's going on Facebook. This is my Facebook. Someone's taste buds are on fire because of all the food abstinence. Fair enough. Well done to you. YouTube is about to delete thousands of accounts. That'll give me Monday and Tuesdays off. This is just awful. It's just awful. There's not even what is wrong with people. Oh, Webby's put that up. A priest admits he made young boys dress like baby Jesus before molesting them. TheMindUnleashed.com. Don't know if that's a credible source, but Michael O'Benicia, I've been asking him to come on as well. I've not had a response, but I suppose he's really busy with the Great British Mortgage swindle coming out at the moment, and he's probably trying to still get through all the emails he's got from Webby. But if we get in the queue, and we'll get him on at some point. Brexit. Oh, fuck off. It's just utter dog shit. Utter dog shit. I don't get no. Madeleine McCann investigation gets another £300,000 from Home Office. It's nonsense. They've just chucked another 300,000 quid somewhere and said, oh, it's gone into Madeleine McCann thing. Oh, what did you spend it on? Well, you know what them fucking Portuguese are like. We spent it on some private detectives and some diggers and some fucking, we spent it on all this sort of shit. We stopped at this hotel, and the hoteliers, the people that worked at the hotel, the people who ran the hotel, they were the people that were lending us diggers and that. So we paid them through hotel. Oh yeah, of course you did. Fucking Jesus Christ! Why do they fucking? What is fucking wrong? What is wrong with people? Why do people actually think Madeleine McCann's ever going to be found? Do they actually think that she's still alive? There's not a fucking chance. But you see, this is what we get. And the strangling us, the screwing us, the fucking us about. There's not the amount of people protesting Trump as they'll tell you. It's all fucking camera. They're not. They're just not. Did the fucking Brexit party winning all them fucking votes I know voting's a load of bollocks and it's a fucking load of and I don't do it and it's a pile of shit. But do they not see that there are ordinary people that don't think on a conspiratorial level that are now getting fucked off and now realise, and it amazes me how far they've actually been pushed. People have actually been pushed because people have been pushed. You've got nurses going to food banks. You've got people who have got jobs that are struggling. People in poverty that have got jobs. And we've had austerity for nearly 10 years, and yet the debt, I think it's trebled at least. I would say it's at least trebled, and I don't know. I've got no statistics. So that fucking worked, didn't it? But nobody goes back. Nobody goes. Yeah. Jeremy Corbyn, if you've got a politician that stood there and went, well, right, in 2010, they did austerity because of debt, and it's trebled since then. So you've been fucking suffering for note. You lot have been suffering for fucking note. They're getting elected, aren't they? I'm going to stop austerity. I'm going to fucking make it so that we're not fucking bombing every other fucking country in the world, try and nick the shit, so that a few people in fucking London or a few people in New York can fucking profit. No, we're not. We're not sending our people over to fucking to fucking bomb other nations. And we're not doing it. We're not do. Why? Why would we do it? We're supposed to be fucking. This is We're supposed to be a democracy. We're supposed to be a civilization. We're supposed to be civilized. We're supposed to we separate ourselves from other people by saying the savages. Yet those people all look after each other and everything, and don't fucking cause anybody else any harm. Yet we bomb the fuck out of you. I fucking owe anything. Fucking hell, Jesus Christ! Yeah, you see these fucking. I sometimes think, you know, when you go into your wardrobe and you get like one of your old coats or like a pair of trousers and you find a tenner in pocket, I sometimes think fucking Americans are going to come in and fucking take it, bomb house, and say, "There you go, you're free of that fucking tenner." You know, it's just we're completely fucking upside down, and I know we've always said until we do this, until that, but I think that it's time's now. Time's now. We've got to take the people that are being protected. We need to take the protectors away, and I'm not talking about coppers, because coppers, well, they're us, really, aren't they? The coppers and the soldiers and all that. They're just us. They're just the normal, everyday working fucking people that are probably struggling to pay the mortgage or the. Because the job's so fucking stressful, they're having to pay the child maintenance because the marriage has not survived, because they're in such a stressful situation, and they'll be put in there on purpose. This is done on purpose. They don't fucking, like I said with that, when they sent me that thing and said, I'm going to have an appraisal of me driving, right? So they give me 21 fucking days. And they give me 21 days to respond, right, with the date of my appraisal, but it's fucking 8 days before I get the letter, so that's 8 days gone, and then I'm still waiting for the people to get in touch with me to do the appraisal. I ain't got a date, so if in 21 days one part of this fucking shit fucking wagon has not got in touch with other part of the fucking shit wagon, and then that shit wagon's got in touch with me, I'm up shit fucking creek as far as they're concerned anyway. They're just fucking, it's just hideous. And these are public servants. We keep forgetting this. They are public servants. Whenever I've had any and I've had it in court. I've not had armed police come in behind me, you know, and because I've asked a question. But I have been in court, and I've said to the clerk of the court. I even sent the fucking the magistrates came in and sat down, and the clerk of the court were addressing me, and I were ignoring her, and she was trying to shout at me and try to impose something on me, and I were ignoring her, and I turned to the side, and then I turned to magistrates. I said, "I'd like you to leave," and the magistrates got up and left, and then she come out, and I said, "Listen, you're a public servant. I'm a member of the public. I don't allow my fucking servants to talk to me like that. So you'll talk to me, you'll address me in the correct fashion. Otherwise, this facade won't carry on." And boom, lo and behold, they came back in, and she addressed me properly, and we got it sorted in the end. But you know, this is what you've got to do. You've got to be assertive. And look, I don't want people going and kicking and screaming and in any way, in any situation. But you just need to be assertive, even if it's just shutting the door and saying, "Look," but don't even say, "Oh, just shut fucking door." So you open your door, TV license, done. That's it. There's nothing they can fucking do. They're not going to fucking clamp your car. They're not going to break in your house. They're not going to fucking rape your goats. If you've got goats on my garden, you might have goats. I've got a number of goats on my back garden, and some have been raped by bailiffs over the years. But you know, they take it, and it's just a part and parcel of being alive and being assertive enough. So just don't take no crap. But don't give no crap either. That's another thing. Don't give no crap. So if you don't like something, just leave it. Just go away. Just go somewhere else. Don't even engage in it. There's plenty of things I've seen this last few days, and I thought to myself, oh, look, I want to put some on, and I just thought, no, just leave it. It's just not. It just didn't worth any part of your life. This social media, it takes up a hell of a lot of your life. It takes a lot of your energy away as well, because you're scrolling through and you see things you don't like, and that takes a bit of energy away. And then you see someone you don't like, and that takes a bit of energy away. And then and you're going through it. Just leave it. Have a look. Sometimes it's all right. It's fine, but just don't do it on like a regular basis. And when you get your TV, just put some crap on. Sit and watch TV. Put some crap on. I always watch The American Office. It's the best thing ever. It's the best antidote to everything. The American Office. Watch it from start. It's on Amazon. I think that's why we've got it on Amazon. But just watch some crap. Small Fools and Horses. Just don't let this overtake everything, right? I've learned, I've been through all this. I started this, not this doing YouTube videos and stuff like that, but I became awake in 2006, and I've been through so many times where sometimes I'd say I've had a breakdown because of it, because it can get on top of you. It can get on top of you, but remember, it's only what you allow it to do to you. That's the only thing it can do, is what you allow it to do to you. So if you watch something, I remember when I first started, I watched 9/11 in plain sight, and I'm pleased to have interviewed Dave Von Kleist, who did that a couple of times on this show. And I watched it over and over and over and over and over again. Every night, coming from the club that I worked in, and I'd be home at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I put it on, and it'd be 6 before I went to bed. I watched it over and over. It took a long time for it to get in. It took a long time for me to be able to process that. And then then there's certain things you can, and then there's certain things you can't. I do remember, because my the woman that I was living with at the time, she watched it as well, and she wasn't very bright, but she watched it as well, and she did get it. I didn't mean that. She wasn't very bright. She is bright. She's just in the wrong way. But but that's my personal opinion. But she watched it and she agreed with it. She did no. She took it all in, and she thought, "Oh my God, this is." But then 7/7 happened. And after that happened, it seemed to sort of cement in her head that it was Al Qaeda, because Americans might do it, because that's, we see that sort of thing over there all the time. They do all this big stuff, and but we wouldn't have. So it's got to have been Al Qaeda, and that's the sort of mindset that you get in. And even myself, I had difficulty believing that it was. That it was not the people that we were told. I had difficulty believing it at first, because you get fed such crap, and really I were in a transition phase. I'd only seen 9/11 in plain sight, and there I were confronted with a similar sort of situation, but only in my own country. And I think well, I know where I were. I'm in Skegness, and we got a caravan at that time. And we were in Skegness, and it was the day before they announced the London Olympics in 2012. And I remember, it was the day after. I think it was 6th. Yeah, it was the 6th of July when they announced that that London had won the Olympics, and then the 7th when the attack happened. And so you do get that where you feel as though, perhaps this next step is a step too far. It's a step I can't take. But once that courage comes to you, I don't even know if it's courage. I think it's curiosity. I think curiosity always gets the better of you. And so your curiosity then says to you, well, let me go and have a look at this. And you go and have a look. And then you find that's all bullshit as well. 7/7's all bullshit. And then that's when they really started piling upon us, because we had that they bombarded us with images as well. I mean, the newspapers, I remember the newspapers at the time on the 21st, where they got John Charles de Menezes, and they shot him in on the tube. And then the following day, the Sun headline was "Got one of the bastards," which like reinforces that, we know who this is, who did this, and now we've got one of them. And so it sort of reinforces the story and cements it into people's minds. And it's really difficult for people to then wriggle out of that cement, it's like it is like you're, if you follow mainstream news and you're watching the crap that's coming out. I mean, even the stuff now, you get stuck in that cement, and the cement sticks to you, and you can't get out of it. But the thing is the cement is becoming more and more malleable, and people are more and more being able to wriggle the way out of the cement that they're trying to surround everyone with. But back in those days, sound like a right old man, don't I? I'm only 49. Back in those days, that cement was rock hard, because the Sun had such power. The Sun newspaper, all the newspaper, particularly the newsgroup newspapers, had such power. The internet was in its infancy, so people really, the people that were on the internet were generally younger, and were looking for pop songs and pornography and I don't know, midgets and things like that. And so it's just, it was so cemented in, and that takes a lot of time to chip away, and chipping away on people that it's cemented in on. I mean, I'm okay. I got free of it, but there are people I know, many people, in fact, most people, still cemented in, and can't get themselves out, even though they know that even though in the minds they know that something's not right, and perhaps they should perhaps try to discover more. But you see, it gets to a point where that cement coat that they've got on, that's comforting to them. It's comforting, and it's human nature, and that's fine. And so if you find somebody, and they might be receptive to certain things that you say, but to break them out of that cement coat, it's quite a feat, and it's quite and usually it needs something personal to happen to themselves before they'll do it. So it is a long road, and you'll go through all sorts of different phases. You'll go through phases where you think to yourself afterwards, for fuck's sake, really? Did I watch that? Like I said, do you know a name that popped up earlier on today, recently, shall I say, that I saw, where somebody called Mark Dice, if you remember him. Oh, Jesus Christ. But he popped up. He was one of the InfoWars crew. Have a look at him, Mark Dice. But when he first, when this were in its infancy, and 9/11 was in its infancy, just have a look back and listen. Everyone's got a past, and everyone's got, and I don't know if you'll be able to find it, but Mark Dice, who became a bit of an internet sensation, well, whatever, an internet celebrity, whatever you want to call him. Well, he started off calling himself John Connor, as in John Connor off Terminator, and he was going around college campuses saying to going up and asking students if they hated fags. Do you hate fags? what's wrong? You know, do you think homosexuality? In fact, it weren't even homosexuality. They weren't even that polite. They were saying faggots and all this sort of stuff. It were a bit Westboro church type stuff, but that were in his early days. And this is what I'm saying. Everybody's got their own past. I don't know if anybody's seen Mark Dice. Let's have a look. If someone in the chat room. He's on BitChute. Yeah, a lot. He's dire. Yeah, that's it. Mark Dice. Yeah, he's but back in the day, he used to go around college campuses and ask stupid questions. What should fags be shot dead or some ridiculous stuff. We've all done ridiculous stuff, but I'm quite seasoned in this. I've been at it for quite a long time. I've been through all the fucking phases that you go through. I've been through the looking at David Icke phase. I've been through the looking at Alex Jones. I've been listening to Alex Jones phase. I went through that for quite a while. I used to drive because I was driving, so for a living, and I was going down to like Norwich and stuff like that. So I used to get his podcasts and put them on my little one of them. What they call iPod things that used to turn around, you used to spin it around like that with its thing. I had one of them, and I used to listen to Alex Jones, and then I got sick of that, and I realised that, especially when God, what was it called? God, he used to have this guy on called this Reverend on, and I think this were the bit where I decided that. I don't know if I'm still on. Am I still on? Let's have a look. No, yeah, I am. Oh, right, okay. Sorry, I thought I'd gone off. It just like went all funny. No, not a Walkman. No, it were an iPod. It were like only like a little thin silver thing, iPod thing, and it had like it weren't even you just put your finger around it and it went. You thumb around it and it turned and it went through all things. Anyway, but I used to have that anyway. Not a cassette player either. Jock Tamson's. Yeah, but I used to listen to, he used to have this guy. I noticed that it were quite repetitive. He'd have similar people on, and there were this bloke, this guy who come on who used to be, who used to say he were part of the Illuminati. He'd been part of the Illuminati, or he were a pastor for the Illuminati. I can't remember his name. Anybody remember his name, please? But he was called, I think it was Smoke Williams, Reverend Smoke Williams, and he used to come on and he used to go, believe everything Alex Jones was telling you. It's all true. I was pastor to the Illuminati. Now I want you in a second to go get yourself a pencil and a piece of paper, because I'm going to tell you some information. You go right now. And it just fucking never happened. He'd say, go and get a pencil and a piece of paper, and then no, it never happened. Oh God, what were it called? It was something. I'm sure it's probably fucking brown bread now, but he kept saying he were a pastor to the Illuminati, to the New World Order. And that's when I decided. And then you move on, don't you? You move on, and I moved on to various different podcasts. Let me try and think of some. I used to listen to. I sort of spread myself about then. Listening, and I remember 2008 when the just before the financial crash, and what's his face did come on, went on Alex Jones and predicted it, and it happened. What's his name? Not Max Kaiser, that other one. Anyway, name will come to me anyway. Yeah. Anyway, but what I'm trying to say is that throughout this, like I said earlier on about conflict management, not conflict resolution, because conflict resolution's a waste of time in this field. It's a waste of time. You're not going to tell. You're not going. A flat earther's not going to be turned into a ball earther, and a ball earther's not going to be turned into a flat earther. Unless you've got a completely open mind, it's not going to happen. So it's conflict management. You have to manage these conflicts so that it stays it stays civil, and we don't disgrace ourselves, because there are people. If I'm saying that the Earth is flat, and somebody's saying the Earth is round, but lizards rule the Earth, then you've got both of them. If we're in conflict, the people on the other side of the wall, as I spoke about earlier on, they just love that. They're just down with that. I mean, they're all organised. They know what's going on. They know what's going to happen in the next bit of their fucking thing. They just don't know what we're going to do. But as long as we're all arguing amongst each other, that's what we're going to do. We're going to keep arguing amongst each other. And I know that some people feel like I've been facilitating that, but I haven't been facilitating that. What I've been trying to do is I've been trying to I've been trying to stay honest and honourable to this show, and be true to this show. And when I say I listen to both sides and I'll interview both sides, I mean it. I don't want to cause conflict. I want to try and resolve it. So just go through. You go through each stage. When I say about, I got off on a tangent then, didn't I? Conflict management, but also your awakening management is equally as important. And just learn from the mistakes that I've made, because I've made tons of mistakes. It's got to me. It's got in my head, and it's gone. But this, years ago, it got into my head, and it makes you think you're drinking too much, and then you're doing this and you're doing that, and it's all as a result of your world being turned upside down. But as long as you can negotiate your way through that forest, it's going to happen. You're going to have these points where, wherever your vice is, wherever you're down, you're going to have these points where you're going to have to negotiate yourself through this state of mind that you've got, and then you'll be fine. You'll get right through to the end. Trust in your son, trust in your gut, and just trust in yourself. That's it. That's all you have to answer to. And don't get drawn into arguments. What's the point? All the abuse that I've had on, I've not looked at most of it, but all the abuse I've had on YouTube, I've not looked at most of it, but just leave it there. I'm leaving it there. I'm not deleting it. I'm not getting rid of it. Leave it there. It's there as a matter of record. I stand by what I did, and I stand by everything I said, and I stand by what this with this YouTube show, however long it's going to last, because they're fucking deleting all YouTube channels. I stand up for that. So you can't stop me. Get my lighter out and I'll do that. All we are saying is give peace a chance. But that's inspired by you, Cookie Monster. When I tuned into one of your shows the other day, and you did the intro music yourself, and did it sounded like a 70s porno. So that's for you, Cookie. All right. Well, listen, I've done an hour and 23 minutes, which is more than I anticipated doing. Let's see what's going on in the chat room. Yep. Dave Iron, he says he's been through it. He's had to fight with his kids. I'm sorry, I'm sort of late into that conversation. It's all good. What you got to remember is we're all in this for the same thing, really, essentially. And if you're not in it for the same thing, then you're not really in it, are you? If you don't want to get rid of this government and get rid of this system that we've got, this system of slavery. And you know, what would be better? Continuing this slavery system, continuing this slavery system until our demise, or try to do something about it. At least try to do something about it, because you know, if we could bring him down, if we could bring him completely down, and it's only the media that's in the way. If we can bring him completely down, the entire system, we can start again. And it might not be very good for us, but for our grandchildren, it'll be tons and tons better, because we'll have instigated a better system, a system that is fair, a system that puts people first, and a system where we can be proud to say that's what we've left behind. Anyway, that's me. Thank you very much for listening. I'll be back on Monday, definitely Monday, with one guest or another. I've told you who they're going to be. It's either going to be Cass Crowhurst or Matt Sergio. I've got them both dangling on. I'm just waiting for confirmation on the dates from both of them. So definitely 2 shows, Monday and Tuesday next week. And thanks for listening. I'm sorry I didn't do a show yesterday, but I couldn't be asked, and you know, I felt like spending some time with my wife, which is what I'm going to do. Is I'm going to do one show at 7, and then all the other stuff I'm going to do a little bit later on when my wife's gone to bed, because I want to spend more time with her while she's here. And it's because oftentimes I'm here all day, and she comes home from work, and then we've only got a couple of hours, and then I come on and do this, and then she goes to bed. So I sort of want to reduce that by 50%. So there's going to be one at 7 o'clock, and then the rest will be later on when she's got to bed. But you're in luck, because she's quite early to bed. Anyway, thanks to everybody for listening. I'll see you on Monday or Tuesday. Anything I want to tell you? Let me have a look at me book. Nope, that's it. Okay, I'm gone. I'm deflated as much as Trump's baby blimp. So